But Trevor, it is very embarrassing for us sometimes to be in a committee and you're hosting serious people who have come before the committee, and the chairperson is inept, is unable to do the job of chairperson. I have been embarrassed personally, sitting in a committee there, and you can see the person who's the chairperson is have also a responsibility to say, no, John Mbadi, if you bring any taxes, the same taxes that we rejected in 2024, I can assure you, Trevor, I will be there to remind him that this is not who we are. We will reject those proposals.
Committees, is this based on leadership and competence or political allegiance?
First, let me say, Ekuru, because I'm in Parliament, let me pass the laws, you go to court, because you've told us
yes, I will.
The stronghold of Third Way Alliance is in the Court of Appeal. You go there and practice what you practice there. I will do my job as a legislator.
I will.
Trevor, back to your question. I heard the leader of majority, because these changes in the leadership of the committees have largely affected the membership of the majority. I saw him on TV yesterday, the Honorable Aaron Cheruiyot, saying that there are people who have fallen out of favor in their own political party. So that is a question that you can properly put to him, not to us, because in our arrangement, nobody is being punished for anything. We had two committees, and that is the County Public Accounts Committee. The chairperson in the last session was Honorable Moses Kajwang. He is still the chairperson of PAC. We had the chairperson of the Public Investments Committee, chaired by Senator Ososi. He's still the chairperson.
But your people are now being fronted to other roles.
That's what I'm telling you. When it comes, let me explain. When it comes to elections in the committee, and I want to share my personal experience. In 2022, when we were elected, I was proposed to be the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee in the Senate on the day of the election, because, I was a fresher. I didn't know what goes on in Parliament. The gentleman who is now the chair of PAC, Moses Kajwang, because he was a third-term member of Parliament, he was able to convince other members from across the aisle. Actually, they cut a deal with Senator Gerard Gay. And that is how Senator Gerard Gay became a vice chairperson of PAC, yet he is not a member of Azimio. So in those committee elections, it is possible for you to persuade people from across the aisle, because there are various issues that are at play. However, it is very embarrassing for us sometimes to be in a committee and you're hosting serious people who have come before the committee, and the chairperson is inept, is unable to do the job of chairperson. I have been embarrassed personally, sitting in a committee there, and you can see the person who's the chairperson is stellar members of that committee who can run the show. And that is why sometimes you see some of us hijacking proceedings of those committees, because we know that the person who was there, he was put there because he's from the majority party, but he cannot do the job. At this particular tail end of the Senate, I think there is consensus amongst the senators that now it is time to get down to business and conclude the business that we started in the first half. And that therefore, we want serious leadership in our committees. I am not going to be in a committee where there is ineptitude. I joined the Security, Defense and Foreign Relations Committee this particular session because there's things we want to do in that Security Committee. We want to do an audit of all the abductions that have happened in this country. I want to understand Kenya's foreign policy. I want that Korir Singh to come before my committee with his big English and tell us how he could allow Kizza Besigye to be abducted from Kenya. That is why I am in that committee. And I want a serious chairperson, somebody who believes in the rule of law. You are not going to just front any person for committee chairmanship and tell us that this is the person who's going to lead us. We are going to vote in that committee. I want a serious chairperson in the committees that I belong to. Lastly, Ekuru mentioned something about Mbadi. Mbadi is my former chairperson, but he's a cabinet secretary in Kenya Kwanza government. There are things that Mbadi says, and I see that he remembers where he came from. For instance, when Mbadi said that he will be proposing a reduction on taxes, including pay as you earn, that is ODM. That is ODM. When Mbadi tells us that he will not be introducing any new finance bills, Trevor, that is ODM. We sat here and I remember you telling you that I will be speaking to the chairperson of the Azimio Economic Council. That was then Nderitu Mureithi. Nderitu Mureithi is appointed to government, and he's speaking the same language we spoke, that there is no need to have an annual finance bill because it makes life very unpredictable. Those are the people that when they speak those things, we see that they remember where they come from. But when he stands up and says, I have also a responsibility to say, no, John Mbadi, if you bring any taxes, the same taxes that we rejected in 2024, I can assure you, Trevor, I will be there to remind him that this is not who we are. We will reject those proposals. Trust that there is some of us, he will call them old habits. I call them values. Because if you don't stick to your values, the values are supposed to be your guiding light. I will receive a lot of flack for some of the things that I've said here. But Trevor, you can count on me. You can call me any day. I will say the same thing. I will never be a hypocrite.
Okay.
Is ODM headed in the right direction with the current arrangement and the current status?
Let's just say that there's a lot of confusion. I have told my party leader that there was a time when it was very easy to be SG of ODM. You would wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me anything. Because what we agreed is that you can compromise on tactics, but you can never compromise on your values. There is things that ODM stands for. If you woke me up in the middle of the night and asked me my position on devolution, my position on rights under Article 37, for instance, I would give you Nyanza. I saw him saying he's going to put a stop to it. Therefore, we are not unfair. When we say the greatest responsibility lies with him, it is him who took an oath to protect Kenyans and to protect this constitution. So he cannot run away from responsibility. And at the end of the day, he is the person that received the votes to be president of the republic. We did not elect Kanja.
All right.
We did not elect the IG.
Yeah.
We want to ask questions to the head of state because he's the commander-in-chief. He's the person who knows what is going on in this particular abduction.
Okay. A man's on that.